Well, our water is just about boiling here. It's certainly hot enough to clean the pot. It's been on here for about 10 or 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour it into another pan for a minute. I normally wouldn't do that, but I want to show you the bottom of this pan. You can see there's not an incredible amount of black on here. So what I do, I can just dip my rag into this hot water, come over here, clean my pan right off, and you can see that any remaining black that there is just comes right off of there. What it's actually doing is that soap is bringing it off of there. And if I get to a point where there's a little bit of black left on it after I've used it, I can take it home and use a real fine sandpaper. But I just do that, come out and rinse my pan off. I didn't get it quite clean because I'm trying to do it fast here for you in the video. A little bit of black right here. Might not get enough soap right there. That's alright. Again, it'll come off if I just use a little bit of sandpaper if I need it off. Pour some hot water over it. And then I would just simply hang my pot up to dry and allow it to dry for a while. And when it's dry, I can put it away. So we'll get back to that in a few minutes and show you after it dries. Now remember this, I'm showing you some tips on keeping your gear in tip-top shape. And sometimes you need to take, as in the case of the pan, prior planning in order to perfect it. Remember your 5 P's. Prior planning prevents poor performance. So if I want my gear to last, I've got to take care of it before, during, and after I utilize that gear. As you can see, my pan's in good shape now, nice and clean. Now let's get back to our knives for a minute. We had to interrupt the knife in order to go back over there. You can see that we've got the saw, all that rust is gone, everything off it. The knife, much different from what it was before. I do one final step though. I've taken the rough and the dry sandpaper. I will take some PB spray when I'm at home, some oil, and I'll just spray into that opening, and I'll spray a little bit on the blade. Now in my kits, I carry steel wool. You've seen that before. And with that on there, I'll just go back and I'll do a final sanding, if you would, with that steel wool. Put a little more spray on there. And what that'll do is not only help clean this blade off, but it'll protect it down the road from having any problems as well. It's still going to get rust on it because you use your equipment, but it's not bad. So we'll just do that, and we can actually go ahead and just, I'll clean that off for a minute, put that away, and we're ready to go with that. Do the same thing with our knife. Again, this PB spray is good stuff. Cuts through any of the rust. This final sanding will get any little scratches out of there. Again, I'm not too worried about scratches, but it keeps the knife in good shape. I'm not sure how this affects these handles. I've never had a problem with it, but being that they're rubber handles, it may eat them away a little bit. If anybody knows that, it'll be a good thing to know. But again, I'm not too worried about it. Never had a problem before with rubber handles or plastic handles. So, and then we just dry that off, and we're in good shape. Show you what we got left over. There you go. Shiny, clean knife. A few little scratches, but they're not going to hinder the performance of the knife. It's going to keep it in good shape. Put it back in the sheath to keep it sheathed properly, and we're finished with our knives. Finished with our saws. So basically any metal gear will be taken care of the same way. Another problem that I had, as I mentioned before, was this Alice pack. And I don't really have the time on this video today to take care of it, but I'm going to have to take care of these snaps. You can see some of these snaps have actually pulled right off of here. There's a double snap layer there. I'm not sure how they did it. They actually did it in California, maybe the ride or something. Here's another snap pulled off here, and on this one, both snaps actually pulled off. So I'm going to have to go down to the store, buy some new snaps. You can actually see the snap still sitting on here. We took some off, but this snap is still sitting on here. pry that off, get some new snaps and put on there. I'm also considering whether I just want to do these with Velcro. So that's some of the tips that we do to take care of our equipment. Tents and gear. If I had something on this bag, dirty bag, and most of my stuff is made out of Cordura, it's pretty easy to keep clean. Well, let me get this dirty for a minute and show you. Alright, what I did was I asked my son to go get this dirty. He actually got it dirtier than I probably would have my equipment. But you can see, first of all, I just brushed my equipment off. That's going to help some of that dirt get off of there. You know, again, proper planning. If you're careful where you set your gear down, how you deal with your gear. For example, Dave Canterbury just sent me a really nice hammock. I've used a hammock about 6 or 7 times already, and what I do is I don't let the hammock touch the ground. Some people lay it in the ground while they're doing it. I just put up my ropes before I actually open the hammock, take it out of its pouch. Then I put it right on the rope so it's in the air. But I just take a damp rag, and Cordura, as I said before, cleans up very nicely. Just a little bit of scrubbing on here. And if I had to, I've laundered my sleeping bags, my tents. Tents are a little fragile because they're made out of a nylon. You might want to put them in a pillowcase to launder them. But there you go. It doesn't take very long to clean things up, keep them in good shape so that they don't look or act like they're filthy. They'll keep you in good how something act like it's filthy. Just looks bad. But it keeps you in good repair, keeps your equipment in good shape. Got a little tab on here, put that around there to hold that in place. So that's our report on how to keep your gear clean, how to keep it in good shape. Again, clothing, sew it if it's got a rip. If you've got a rip in some of your gear, fix it. If you have missing snaps, fix them. It takes a little bit of extra time when you're at home, but you know what? It's worth it because the longevity of your gear will keep you going for a good long time. It costs a lot more to replace the gear than it does to take care of it right the first time. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. We appreciate having you with us today. Hope you have a great day, and join us again for another video real soon.